Hi, this is Dancing Rabbit. Welcome to another Saturday Pagan Perspective. This week I'm coming to you from the Council for the Magickal Arts Samhain Festival in Spirit Haven, Texas. The topic of the week is it ethical for pagans to visit Christian churches or cathedrals? I think we need to ask ourselves as pagans, what are our ethics? Because there is not one, the pagan ethic. We have several, many. The Wiccan Rede, the Seven Noble Virtues, and as a Unitarian Universalist, the Principles and Purposes. My first ethical statement is that I believe in the inherent worth and dignity of every person. So when I visited Christian churches, whether it was to look at the architecture and enjoy the history, or whether it was to actually take part to a limited extent in a worship service, I've gone in knowing a little bit about their customs and the way they do things. How do they dress? What is proper? What's grossly improper? And I've tried to dress as close to what's proper as possible, to respect their inherent worth and dignity. There are parts of the service, obviously, that I can't participate in if there's an actual service going on. For example, when I was at my niece's wedding, it was in a very conservative Presbyterian church, and obviously I couldn't in good conscience sing the hymns or pray the prayers. But I did stand respectfully, and I did sit respectfully. I have visited not the great cathedrals in Western Europe, but I've visited perhaps a half dozen or so Unitarian churches in the Transylvania region of Romania, and I've visited one of the painted monasteries in the Moldavia region of Romania. And again, it's a matter of being somewhat familiar with the local customs so that you don't inadvertently offend anyone, and enjoying. I really don't see anything necessarily inherently unethical about visiting one of those places. I was with a choir of other Unitarians, and we enjoyed singing both in the Unitarian churches and in one of the monasteries. I was a little taken aback by the mural artwork at the monastery. The final judgment scene painted on the back end of the church was a little gruesome, but that did not even compare to the scenes of torture and mutilation on the first room that you go into, which is the room of the martyrs. When we got into the final third room, the inner sanctuary, and we're going to sing, we made the mistake of facing what would be the congregation. There really weren't very many people there, just some other tourists from other groups, but we faced toward what would be the congregation or the audience, and our guide very politely told us, no, sing toward the wall of icons. So we did an about face, shuffled the sopranos and the basses back and forth, and sang a rather lengthy 8-part harmony, Alleluia, toward the wall of icons. So I see nothing wrong with pagans visiting churches. I know that some of them in Western Europe are built on the sites of pagan temples. Basically, they just renovated the building and put up some crosses and other things. This is something that happened over 1,000 years ago, 1,500 years ago, and I don't see any value in holding a grudge that long. So, yeah, long as you do it respectfully, or as respectfully as you can do, I see no problem in it. I also enjoyed visiting several Buddhist temples and one Hindu sacred site when I was in Vietnam, and burnt incense and chanted in the Buddhist temple, burnt incense in the Hindu shrine, and felt like I really fitted in and got something spiritual out of it without offending anyone, which would be the last thing I would want to do. So, till next time, Dancing Rabbit, wishing you peace, and I'm on my way back to the main part of Spirit Haven to enjoy the rest of the festival.